Today we're going to be using multiplication to find fractional parts of a whole number. Yesterday we multiplied to find equal groups. So we, for example, had a problem where we had 3 pizzas and there were 3/8 of a pizza in each pizza box. And then we could figure out how much pizza we had in all. Today we're going to be talking about finding fractional parts of a whole number not having equal groups. Today we're going to be using multiplication to find a fractional part of a whole number. Let's look at this first problem together. It says Alyssa ordered 12 new t-shirts online. 1/2 of the t-shirts Alyssa ordered were red. How many red t-shirts did Alyssa order? If you can pass out the packet that looks like this, everybody will need one packet and a pencil, and then we will get started together in a few minutes. Let's look at question number 1. It says Alyssa ordered 12 new t-shirts online. 1/2 of the t-shirts Alyssa ordered were red. How many red t-shirts did Alyssa order? Well, what is the question asking me to find? It's asking me to find how many red t-shirts Alyssa ordered. So red t-shirts is what we're looking for. The information from the problem that we need is that she ordered 12 new t-shirts online and 1/2 of them were red. So what we want to do is, using the model, we want to take our fraction, which is 1/2, and we want to use the denominator to help us divide our 12 t-shirts into groups. My denominator is a 2, so I'm going to put 2 shirts in every group. So if I group 2 shirts together, then I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. It tells me that 1 out of 2 shirts is red. So I'm going to shade 1 out of every 2 shirts. And when I look at that, I wind up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red shirts. Now, the multiplication problem here would look like this. 12 times 1/2. And like we talked about yesterday, we can't multiply a whole number times a fraction. So I'm going to make my 12 into a fraction by putting it over a 1. Now I can multiply my numerators. I can say 12 times 1 is 12, and 1 times 2 is 2. Now, in the way we talk about math, we wouldn't have 12 halves t-shirts, so we need to make this improper fraction into a mixed number. 2 goes into 12 6 times, so 12 halves is the same thing as 6 shirts. So Alyssa ordered 6 red shirts. All right, let's look at this next question. It says there are 15 students in the student council. 2/5 of the students in student council are 5th graders. How many students are 5th graders? So it's asking me to find how many students are 5th graders. So we're looking for 5th grade students. Information that will help us in the problem is that there are 15 students in all, and 2/5 of them are 5th graders. So in our model, we see 15 students, and the fraction I'm looking for is 2/5. So again, I want to use my denominator, my 5, to help me determine how to split up my students. So I want to put my 15 students in groups of 5 because that's what my denominator is. So let's circle groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one group. There's 2 groups. And there's 3 groups. And my fraction 2/5 tells me I'm going to shade in 2 out of every 5 students. So when I count how many students there are in all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 students are 5th graders. So using my multiplication then, I could say 15 times 2/5. And again, to make my whole number into a fraction, I would do 15 over 1. And now I would multiply my numerators. 15 times 2 is 30. 1 times 5 is 5. Now again, we typically would not say 30/5 of the students are 5th graders. So let's make 30/5 into a mixed number. And luckily that works pretty well together. 5 goes into 30 evenly. It goes 6 times. So 6 students are 5th graders. Let's look at this last question. Jasmine played in 12 soccer games this season. Of the 12 games she played in, she scored a goal in 3/4 of them. How many games did Jasmine score in during the season? So it's asking me to find how many games did Jasmine score in during the season. How many games did she score? So looking back over the problem, it's important that she played in 12 soccer games this season, and she scored a goal in 3/4 of them. So in our model, we have our 12 soccer games that are rectangles, and the fraction that we're looking for is 3/4. And what we will use to help us determine how we group our soccer games is we're going to use our divisor. So it tells me that 4 is my divisor, so I want to put 4 games in a group. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And my numerator is going to tell me how many rectangles to shade out of the 4. And my numerator is a 3, so I'm going to shade in 3 rectangles out of the 4. 1, 2, 3. So let's count how many rectangles I shaded in all. Here I shaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 games. In 9 games, Jasmine scored a goal. Looking at the multiplication problem then, we could say 12 games times 3/4. So to make my whole number 12 into a fraction, I would put it over 1, and then I can multiply. I can say numerator 12 times my numerator 3 equals 36. And my denominator 1 times my denominator of 4 equals 4. And just like our other two problems, we don't want to leave it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to say 36, ooh, there we go, divided by 4. And 4 goes into 36 evenly 9 times. So again, we know that 9 games is how many games she scored in during the season. So what I would like for you guys to do now is I would like for Mrs. Holt to pull sticks and to get partners for you guys. And I want you guys to finish these next 3 problems in the packet you have right now. And then after you finish those, she has another paper for you that looks like this paper on the right. And I want you to do 1, 2, and 3 on this paper. Do not worry about the back of the second paper. Let's just work on the front. And they are the same type of problems as we just did together. So with your partner, you're going to finish the rest of the next 3 problems on the packet you already have, and then numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the second paper that Ms. Holt will give you.